Good evening welcome to Mr. Phil Live, and today I'm with one senior citizen in the room, in the house. He's a friend, he's a co-worker, and I'll let him introduce himself. Like I said, welcome to Mr. Phil.
Thank you. I'm Engineer Moses Eibu. I used to work with the Uganda Air Force before I retired, but then now currently I'm with the helicopter plant.
Now today we want us to just discuss a bit of history. You see, the citizen said he used to work. That means he's a retired serving officer. He's no longer serving, he's retired. And today with me, he's a senior citizen. And so he'll be telling us some senior things within the, should I say within the country or within the place and everything. I would like to start with one thing. Are you a father?
Yes.
Let's know more about you. Are you a father? What do you love doing in your free time? What do you do? Do you have hobbies? Do you enjoy? How do you enjoy your free time?
My free time, when I'm at home, I do some farming.
And when you're at work?
When I'm at work, I love my work, the work I do, which is avionics. I'm an avionics engineer.
And do you have a wife? Do you have a crush? Do you have a celebrity crush?
No. Yes, I have a wife.
And a celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush, really?
Like by the way, you have someone you crush on, like a celebrity. That person you'll be like, yo, this chick.
No.
You don't? You fear your wife?
Those are for very young people.
But I think I'm suggesting one. Kamala Harris.
No. That one is a celebrity.
Aunt is your celebrity crush.
A celebrity in the sense that she portrays the U.S. as if she becomes president, USA will be a respected country. But now when you take a man like Trump, if he becomes president...
Don't talk about Trump now. Don't talk about Trump. We are introducing, man. No Trump here. We're just trying to introduce...
Okay.
I was just suggesting Kamala being... Kamala. Chameleon.
Kamala Harris.
Scamla. She's a scammer, by the way. Did you know that?
No.
That she's a scammer. Hey, I'll give you news here. But today we are not talking politics.
Okay.
Today I wanted you to give us a bit of history of Uganda. There's sometime you mentioned something about those chambers, torture chambers of the late President Idi Amin Dada, and those things there. I want us to. By the way, you were here during independence, right? Yes, you were born.
Yes. So
I'm here with history.
The best I recall, when I was still a student, when Amin took power, it was in 1971.
You were still a student?
Yes. That time.
Which class?
I was in S2, S3.
What?
I was in S3.
Guy.
So Amin took power I was in S3. That was a weekend. Hey. But now we were trying to tune Radio Uganda, because that time there was only Radio Uganda and Uganda Television. At that time there were these stations which are now FM stations were not there. So when we tuned Radio Uganda, we were only getting martial music. Martial music played.
Martial music is like music of military music mainly.
Yes. So up to around 10
p.m.
10 in the morning.
10 a.m.
The music continued. Then by around midday, there were some shootings in the city center. Yeah. And around Radio Uganda.
Okay.
And then eventually there was an announcement that the government had been toppled. And the sitting president at that time was Apollo Milton Obote, and he had gone for a Commonwealth meeting in Singapore.
So he was told stay
there.
So
he was overthrown when he was away from he was not in the country. So when Amin came on radio, it was so absurd, because he said he was a man of few words and was speaking somewhat broken English. Yeah, so then Kampala became completely live, because the people came to the street celebrating the Obote's overthrow.
Okay.
Yes.
People actually celebrated Obote's overthrow?
Yeah, people celebrated. That's the fact.
How does it feel to have a change of government?
A change of government. Okay, when the government changed, there was not much difference. But then, with the time, we started getting the impact.
Now, I wanted to know about, do you know about the Magendo time?
Yeah, I'm coming to that.
Now, I wanted to know, first of all, don't go to that fast, but was it during Obote's time or Amin's time?
When what?
Or like the Magendo?
No, that was during Amin's time.
Okay. Now, let's come back.
Obote one was good. There was no problem.
Obote one was good. Yeah. Okay, let's come back. Now, with after the music, after the people celebrating, what started? Where did everything change? Where did people start? When did people stop celebrating?
People stop celebrating now when the military became. They first started with the killings. Killings became rampant.
Oh, they were killing like in the former first, allies. Or?
Yeah, first it started the armed forces. They were killing those soldiers from Lango and Acholi. Then eventually, after that, it started overlapping to other tribes. Yes, because that was the time now. The Chief Justice by then, Benedicto Kiwanuka, was abducted and he was never seen again.
Oh.
So that's when he started overlapping to other tribes.
That's when started extending his arm.
Yeah, his brutality.
How did you feel?
It was bad, upside.
Then what about those things of torture chambers? What these torture?
Now, when Amin
which ones are they?
When Amin came to
because
power,
we know him for that mostly.
Yes, when Amin came to power, he started setting those organs. Those
he just set up that
security organs, yes, and they were mostly trained in East Germany by the Stasi, East German secret police.
The people that used to torture?
No, yes, the people who used to torture were trained in East Germany.
They took people to just learn how to torture?
No, intelligence training.
Okay.
Which of course it includes the torture and whatever you have.
Let's go ahead.
So when Amin set up that State Research Bureau, it was a secret police.
Okay. Used not to know them.
No, they were.
You just meet yourself being.
No, they were not this type of. They were people who used to show around. If you sit with him, they used to ask funny questions. Like, do you know who I am?
Okay.
Such nonsense. So and once you hear somebody asking you that, do you know who I am?
You just walk away.
You know that's danger.
Hey, so by the time they're asking, you're already in danger. Oh, like they used to just show around, like
show around to
we are the guys.
Yeah,
I heard in that time, you couldn't question a soldier.
And one of the common registration vehicles they used to have was number UVS.
UVS.
Yeah, that's the registration.
Okay.
Uganda registration.
UVS.
Those were their common vehicles.
Okay, those are the vehicles they used to use.
And they used to be these common models at that time. They were Peugeot 544, Peugeot 44, Datsun 1600 SS, Saab, Subaru. Those were the vehicles.
Even Subarus?
Yes.
Which Subarus?
Not these current models. The old models.
The old ones.
Then VW, Beetle.
The Beetles. They used to be used by government.
No.
By those guys.
The government were using mostly British-made vehicles. That was Land Rover, Bedford for the troop carriers. But Land Rovers were the ones, and then the Jeep, Dodge from USA. Those were the vehicles the military used to use. They never used to. Most of the vehicles were from either Britain or USA.
Okay, by the time of takeover, I wanted to ask, what rank was he?
I mean, by then was a general.
He was already a general.
Yeah. No, he was a colonel. Then he was promoted himself to become a general.
No, but okay. By the time of takeover, like
by the time of takeover, he was a colonel. Yes.
Then when he took over, he promoted himself to all the other ranks that he had.
He became a general. Then eventually became a field marshal. Conqueror of the British Empire.
By the way, you being a soldier, What is a field marshal?
A field
To
marshal.
just go a bit to deviate a bit. In that.
That's the top rank, the topmost rank in the military.
There's another one.
No,
There's another top one after.
I'm coming to that. You after field marshal, there was the rarest rank called generalismo.
Yeah, generalismo.
And there were few
In the world. Not in Uganda.
Notably, there was Chiang Kai-shek of Taiwan, which was Formosa.
What did you do to become generalismo?
They were just the supreme commanders. And they were dictators. So I don't know.
They gave themselves.
They gave themselves those ranks. Because they were few. There was Chiang Kai-shek of Taiwan, now currently Taiwan, but used to be called Formosa. Then you had Mussolini. Mussolini was Italian fascist.
It was also generalismo.
Then we had the Joseph Broz Tito.
He was also a dictator.
Yugoslavia.
A generalismo.
Then we had the Haile Selassie, Emperor Haile Selassie, of Ethiopia. It was also generalismo. Then
okay. Even Emperor Haile Selassie, we just studied about him, I think, in SST.
He was a generalismo.
Okay.
And also a Rastafarian. The Rastafarians.
Do those things go hand in hand?
They thought he was their spiritual leader.
Okay.
Those Jamaicans.
I see. Yeah, he had something related to that. So I wanted to ask, so how to field marshal? Like what do you have to do to be a field marshal?
Field marshal, as I told you, you have to be a supreme commander, and there are few.
How? Okay.
The field marshal, that's for the infantry. The Air Force had air marshal.
Okay.
Air marshal.
Okay, if you're from Air Force, you'll be the air marshal. If you're from field, like this guy is on the ground.
Then if you're in the Navy, you become an admiral.
But also it's the same rank as the field marshal. Admiral. Ah, okay. I didn't know that.
There's a rear admiral and admiral.
I will learn slowly. Now, during that time, what transpired? Like now, things starting to change. Now those chambers coming in.
Now the things started changing when Amin in 1972 he gave a speech to the. He was speaking to. He was addressing the nation. Then he said he had a dream, and in that dream, God told him to chase away the Indians. That was 1970.
It was from a dream.
Yeah, that's what he said. So he said God told him to give them 90 days to leave Uganda.
And he was working under God's instructions.
Yeah, God's instructions. But of course, he was just a buffoon. I don't believe him. I don't believe God talked to him.
I don't know Uganda well, but there is one thing I wanted to ask. After the Indians leaving, and then also the thing of Netanyahu. When Netanyahu came, I think you were part of the people that he greeted in Entebbe. You personally, you were among the people he greeted and all those things. You were the soldiers that were there before.
That was in 1976. I'd gone for further studies abroad. Then when we landed, that night, we went to enjoy ourselves in a nightclub, and then by around past midnight, all hell broke loose around the old airport. We saw tracer bullets firing. Too many.
You were in Entebbe that time?
Yeah, I was in Lake Victor Hotel. We were having just a good time.
You're just enjoying, and then you just saw bullets flying and
tracers. So for me at that time, because I knew the Palestinians had hijacked Air France, and they had separated the other passengers, but the
Israelis.
They kept the Jews. So
other passengers had gone.
They had released them. They kept only Jews.
Was it the Mossad that did the work, or it was the IDF? It's Israel Defense Forces, by the way.
Israel Defense Forces
that came here.
The Mossad does intelligence.
How did they come undetected?
coming to Uganda.
Yeah, how did they reach undetected? What taxi did they use?
They were flying with C-130 transport aircraft, but they were flying just above water along the Red Sea. Then when they reached the Indian Ocean, then they lifted, passed over Kenya, entered the Lake Victoria.
Oh, in Kenya they came over?
Yeah, over Kenya, yeah.
Okay, now when they reached Lake Victoria, they
lowered because they were fearing radar detection.
The radar detection and the radars.
Because you see, Entebbe Airport is just by the water.
So they came on the...
and lifted and landed.
They came on by lifting, they were landing and starting. I think they came with their own vehicle.
Yeah, they came with them. They came with jeeps and a Mercedes, which was like a presidential Mercedes.
What did it come from?
They were trying to make the soldiers believe that it was Amin who was
they had replicated this.
Yes.
So they first made them, I think it is the president that has come.
Yes.
What?
But they had done enough rehearsal because they are according to their what, they had the old terminal. They put a replica in when they were training. Oh. So they exactly knew where the hostages were. They knew everything
is.
Every room.
Who gives these guys? So, but by then was Amin in Uganda?
Amin was in Uganda, but he had come back, but nobody knew where he was. But he must have been in either Nakasero or somewhere, I don't know.
He was there enjoying some life and what?
Yes.
Then he realized they have bombed them. So how did you guys react? What was the reaction of the soldiers on the ground? Or they killed all of them?
The soldiers who were at the airport, who were guarding the airport, most of them lost their life. But then in the morning, reinforcements came from Kampala. That was in Bugolobi.
But they had already gone.
The Marines, the Uganda Marines.
They came to
they now coming to Kampala, to Entebbe now, but the Jews had already gone.
They went, I think, how long did the mission last? Did it last so long?
About 1 hour, 90 minutes or so.
90 minutes. And then they finish and they are gone.
Of fire.
Rescuing their people. That was all. And then the lady that remained, the old lady.
The lady was sick, but she had been admitted in Mulago. So when the Jews came, she was in a ward in Mulago.
Of all places.
She was called Dora Block.
Why did why did the Palestinians choose Uganda of all places to go?
Why they chose Uganda? They first flew to Libya. Gaddafi knew the behavior of the Jews. Gaddafi said, "No, I'm not keeping you here." So then eventually they came to Uganda because they knew Amin was a Muslim. He was sympathetic to their cause.
These things where you see guys saying free Palestine and what, because Muslims they will support it.
Yes.
Okay.
He was sympathetic to their cause.
I heard in the 6th day he wanted to take part. No, was he?
Those were just gimmicks of Idi Amin. How could he fight there?
No, I think by then Uganda had some good jets.
No, but still they could not match the Israeli Air Force.
Of course. So anyway, now speaking about that, how was life? How did you reach Magendo?
Magendo came now when the Indians went and the businesses were taken by blacks who did not know how to run businesses.
They didn't know how to import.
So
they didn't know how to do.
Everything disappeared. Then we came to the stage of essential commodities. You have to line to get sugar, salt.
You lived through that time.
Yeah, but for us soldiers, we never used ours. We used to come to the army shop. But civilians were lining for essential goods.
Oh, there were army shops.
The soldiers were getting everything from army shop.
Okay, that's kind of interesting. Then I hear if you were found with coffee, you would be shot.
No, smuggling coffee.
Smuggling coffee. Were they the Kenyans that would shoot you or the Ugandans?
They used to call it kase. Ugandans and Kenyans. Of course, smugglers, they are the same. The Ugandans and Kenyans, Tanzanians, around there, it was in the lake.
Because I'm from one of those places there where Magendo used to, in Chebukube. I know that place. I've been there. In Kenya, I've been there. But there's a song, that song of Chebukube, Soko ya Magendo. It's there. And you can imagine how people used to come there. Now, to only get something essential towards Uganda, it was also a hurdle. To go, it's a hurdle. To come back, even soap, there was nothing. There was nothing. There was nothing to use. Literally, you guys were living. If you wanted sugar, you eat sugar cane. If you wanted, you go and kill bees.
But for soldiers, it was okay because the army shop was well stocked.
So he took care of his soldiers.
The soldiers were not suffering like civilians. Yes, they were lacking commodities.
Then in what year was he overthrown?
He was overthrown in 1979, April 11. That's when the Major General David Ojok announced that the government of Idi Amin was no more.
Ojok, by the way, Ojok, there's a guy called Oito Ojok.
Yes, David Ojok. He's the one who announced.
Why don't we know him so much? We know Obote Amin and the current president.
He died in an air crash.
Hey.
Yeah. Before the NRM came to power.
Is there any president of Uganda that is alive apart from President Museveni now? Oh, okay, the former president. Is there anyone that is alive?
None is alive. Man, who is there now? There's not.
Yusuf Lule?
All are dead.
Was he the one who ruled
for 60 days?
60 days. Vinaisa?
Dead.
By the way, how many presidents have we had?
Paulo Mwanga dead.
Hey, there is Paulo. Let's count from Obote.
Obote 1. Idi Amin. No. Obote, no, Mutesa.
It was Mutesa, the ceremonial one.
Yeah, ceremonial one. Then Obote 1. Then Idi Amin. After Idi Amin came the military commission. Okay.
Tito Okello?
No. Tito Okello came later.
Military commission?
Led by Paul Mwanga.
Paul Mwanga.
Then they had the elections. Then Obote won.
Oh, that's when Paul Mwanga is the one who organized the election.
Yes.
Then he lost.
No, Obote, you organized election for Obote. He was not standing. Obote was the one standing.
Who organized? Whose regime did they organize the elections? Paul Mwanga.
UNLF.
Then he organized for him. He didn't apply.
Oh, I forgot the poster mean. Poster mean.
After
we had Lule, Professor Yusuf Lule.
The one who's for 60 something days.
Yes. Professor Yusuf
48 days.
About 60. I don't know. I'm not very sure. Professor Yusuf Lule.
Uganda has suffered.
Then Mwanga. Then Binaisa. Then Binaisa. Then Mwanga. Then the organized election. Then Obote 1 came in now.
So those are how many presidents? There is Kabaka, Obote, Amin, Lule, Binaisa, Obote 2. Mwanga, Obote 2.
Then Tito
Okello.
Then Yoweri Kaguta.
Oh, we have had 8. Okay, it's a kind of good number. What used to cause a lot of that? Like guys used to overthrow each.
No, coup d'etats were common all over the world. It was not only in Uganda. Nigeria was even the communist.
So Nigeria has had more presidents than Uganda.
More presidents, I think. Yeah, more.
Now why do Kenyans, why do you disturb us?
Kenya and Tanzania is the only stable one.
No wonder the agencies were they were excited being on the street and running around. Okay. That's kind of good. So during independence, how old were you?
Independence, I was 7 years.
7 years. Obote was already old. And Obote's wife is alive?
Yeah.
So people of your... How old is she? Was she like...
She must be now in the 90s, I think.
Yeah, I think she must be 90s.
If not 90s, late 80s.
She might be like 20. She was maybe a late teenager at that time.
Yeah, but she must be 90s.
But they were the elite. They are the ones that had some money. Because Uganda never fought really for independence. We had agreements and what.
No, Uganda was not.
We didn't organize them.
Uganda was a protectorate.
So what's the
Kenya was a colony.
Okay, what's the difference?
The difference.
British protectorate. Then
British protectorate. They didn't have a lot of interest here. But Kenya, they had a lot of interest because of the Kenya Islands. There was a guy called Lord Delamere.
So is it different how the British treat you if you're a protectorate or if you're a colony.
In a protectorate, they knew that they were going to eventually to leave.
Oh,
but
in a colony,
they were not leaving.
The British wanted to actually stay there permanently.
As they did to Zimbabwe, which was Rhodesia by then.
They were Northern Rhodesia, Southern Rhodesia. Oh, okay.
Northern Rhodesia was Zambia, current Zambia, but Southern Rhodesia is now Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Which was the capital was called Salisbury, which is now Harare. They changed the name when Mugabe came to power.
He changed the name.
They changed the name from Salisbury to Harare.
Okay. Now that makes sense. Northern Rhodesia, Southern Rhodesia. I saw those ones in SST because I studied them in primary, not secondary, I think. So okay. So a colony, the British were not leaving. Yeah. That's why they fought. So, but they didn't know about the vermiculite in Uganda. They didn't know about those things, I think, by then.
No.
These resources that we have now, because Uganda, I think, has more resources than Kenya. The land is more fertile. I think we have more natural resources than Kenya.
Why they liked Kenya was the Kenya Islands.
What was there in Kenya? What is in the Kenya?
The climate was so good.
Which was cold like theirs. It was more like
and this man, Lord Delamere. I don't know whether he's still his offspring. What is he? His children are still having some land in Kenya. Yeah, he was called Delamere. There was a name. I forget the name.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
They knew they were leaving, but Kenya, they were not leaving. Okay. If it was not the Mau Mau rebellion.
But the real Mau Mau people, I think, died. I hear.
Yeah.
Then I hear Kenyatta was a softer guy they put there to treat these whites so safer so that they go. He wasn't like he didn't fight and they
didn't fight, but okay, he was
an elite.
He was an elite. He was put in a place called Lodwar. He was imprisoned in Lodwar. Then when the British were now leaving, they wanted this Jaramogi Oginga. But
the father to Baba
to Raila. But Odinga said, no, I cannot do what I need to do. Our man who is in prison must be released. And then eventually Kenyatta was released and he assumed the presidency.
And what happened to Odinga?
They worked together. Then they started getting differences.
As usual. The way Ruto is getting differences with the truthful man. Hey. I had some lawyer commenting that's a prima case. He cannot win it. But let's wait and see. Anyway, today being the first one, I don't know if I'm going to actually post this, but we have a lot of jazz with Afande. Sometimes we will advise a lot of fun is actually coming. It's not only history. We'll do different things with them. You'll see so many other people coming, so many people being hosted. Anyway, so on 5th, I'm headed to US to vote for Trump. And Afande is here. He's a proud Kamala Harris supporter. He normally says Madam President. Pray for him.
I just say in French that Madam President.
Yeah, that's another topic. When he starts on Kamala, he won't raise. But the day he loses, I don't know what he'll do, because Kamala Harris, the way she's going, all the time I was born in a middle class family. Okay, let me ask you, what plan does Kamala Harris have to bring down the economy, the inflation, and then boost the economy? What plan does she have? You answer for her.
First of all, the thing Kamala Harris is hyping on that she's going to be a president for all Americans.
You answer what she's going to do.
Just wait.
Don't start like Kamala. At least for you, I trust you can answer questions directly. So don't start like, let's start with things.
She's going to.
I was born.
She's going to.
Middle class. Okay, now let's start. What is she going to do? And you'll also ask me the same about Trump, and I will answer. Yes. So what is she going to do?
She's going to work for the middle class. In contrast to Trump, who is thinking of cutting.
What about Kamala?
Kamala is going to work for the middle class.
So that's your answer.
And the middle class is what makes America strong.
What is she going to do, Afande? You've listened to her so much. You're answering like her.
She's going to give them incentives for starting businesses, incentives for people, first-time parents, like you. When you get married and you get a child, you are going to be assisted. So many things. Yes.
Now, me, should I tell you something?
Yes.
Ask me the same question.
What does that sick Trump
Did I speak anything about Kamala? Afande, no. Just ask about Kamala.
Okay. What will Trump do? Which he never did during his 4 years.
First, we have to start with energy. You bring down energy, we increase fracking. When energy comes down, transport costs come down. And then how after transportation coming down, groceries being transported to what are these places called? To the grocery stores comes down. In eventually the price to supermarkets and those malls and whatever, the prices come down, and eventually people start buying things at a cheaper price. It's not simple, Afande.
Let me tell you.
No.
Let me give you a feedback.
Your woman is against.
No. I'm going to.
She's against fracking. We know that. She's against
Uganda. I'm going to tell you about what the 4 years Trump was in power.
Tell me about this one. What did
I'm
they
coming
achieve?
to that. Then now
tell me about yours. You root for yours. Don't talk bad about
mine has not been in power yet. But
no, she has been in power.
No.
That's the thing you guys are saying.
She was a vice president.
Oh Jesus!
Yes.
Yeah, we are going.
She was a vice.
We are continuing whips for Kamala. Where is the whip? Oh Jesus! Afande, we need the whip for Kamala. We need the.
No, you need to whip Trump, not Kamala. Madam President.
Let me look for the whip here.
Madam President.
Okay, tell me about the 4 years of Trump. Okay. Let me just hear your lies, and I'm not even going to answer.
You now. Obama left a very healthy economy, and Obama finishes 8 years correcting the mess left by the Republicans. Listen.
Can you imagine a mess that you take for 8 years? 8
years.
Okay.
The banks, everything had almost collapsed. USA was going for it was about to get to. It was actually recession.
Yes, look.
So 8 years, this man corrected all these things. And he handed over. Obama corrected the economy, and he handed over a very healthy economy to Trump. Then Trump started his business of cutting.
But Democrats are molesters.
Just Trump started tax cuts for the billionaires. Then the economy started going bad. Then disaster struck.
Afande, when you cut taxes for the bill, let me explain the theory of cutting taxes. When you cut tax for a billionaire, he has more money to employ more people.
No.
But if you take money from the billionaire and give it to the government, a stupid government like Biden's and Kamala's, no. A stupid government like Kamala, a stupid government.
Kamala has no government.
Afande.
Kamala is not a government.
She's in government now.
But she's not the head of the government.
Afande, she can advise.
Now let me
she's actually the chief advisor.
Let me tell you what happened
to the president. No, let me say this. When you have money and give it to Elon Musk, Elon will create jobs, and then people will be employed, improving people's lives. But when you give money to government, no. When you give money to government, also a stupid government, they'll pick money, 44 billion, 200 billion, 100 billion of dollars, not Uganda shillings, or Zimbabwe money, and then they carry that money and go and give it to Ukraine. Guess what Ukraine is doing with it? Buying a few bombs, and then Zelensky buying expensive cars and then leaving inheritance. Do you think Zelensky's family is fighting?
That one I don't know.
Exactly. No, USA is giving money to these people. And NATO, remember Trump was siphoning money from the other countries, the NATO allies.
No, we are not talking about. We are talking about USA. Let us discuss USA.
Of course, these are things USA is doing.
Yes. Let us discuss USA because
these are things.
I was coming with the thing you are cutting me short.
Okay, I'm not.
So I told you now. Obama handed over a very healthy economy to Trump. Trump started messing the economy.
Get some water.
The economy started going down, until again disaster struck.
When
in COVID-19.
Now
when COVID-19
Trump.
when COVID-19 struck, this man had no idea of what to do with how to control the disease, and Americans lost 500,000 people until when Biden came to power. He's the one who was.
Let me ask you a question.
Who contained the
Let me ask you a question,
COVID.
Afande. Did anyone have an idea of how COVID was? China refused to share this.
No. Obama had really made plans.
Obama wasn't president. How did he come to make a plan?
No, he made a plan before he handed over. In his last year of government.
A plan of what?
Of
COVID?
No, not COVID.
We are speaking about COVID.
Of any calamity. And the calamity which came, yes, the calamity which came happened to be COVID. Yes.
I find no one knew about COVID.
You see, people his plan.
Same CNN. Let me say, no.
Wait.
Fauci.
His plan. Wait first. His plan.
Fauci was a Democrat, and she. No.
Fauci was the head of the medical world.
Now, all the directives he gave, recently they came out and they said most of them were fake. They are not actually applicable. There's a time when Kenya enforced.
But they controlled it.
When Kenya enforced, leave the lockdown. When Kenya enforced the curfew, CNN reported that the virus. This is a clip that is there. That the virus spreads more at night, and then this what is it called? This movements at night it spreads more. So they say the curfew would do, and the whole world started going on curfews. Kenya, you get it? Fauci hasn't given that, and Kenya was leading in terms of curfews. That means no one had a plot on how to solve.
They had it. Disease. I'm telling you. You listen to me.
Tanzania had a better plot.
You listen.
You believe or
not? You listen. What Obama foresaw was that in case if there's a calamity, there should be methods.
They were planning for the calamity.
Yes.
No, they planned to release that corona because
the corona came from China. It was not from USA.
I found it. I actually think
from Wuhan.
Wuhan, yes, I know. But do you believe Tanzania had a better way of dealing?
I don't know, but why did you what?
Because not so many people died in Tanzania. And why did they kill John Pombe Magufuli?
I don't know. Maybe he died of natural causes. I cannot.
Okay, he might have died.
I cannot speculate.
He might have died of natural causes, but your people.
I cannot speculate what killed him. I cannot.
Yeah, this is a man who has. Okay, they said it was COVID. They say, but this is a man who had gone against world powers.
I say, for me, I cannot speculate.
Why do you like Democrats, Afa? Obama came and killed Gaddafi. The African.
They are pro people. Now, when you
people,
yes, when you go to
when they are killing babies, they are pro people.
You listen.
When they are bringing Ebola, are they pro people? When they are bringing war in Libya, are they pro people?
Yeah, when you go to this when you go to these white supremacists who believe in white supremacy.
They are not white supremacists.
The triple K. You know they got the
KKK. I know them.
Yes, they are vicious people, and they don't like. And they don't like
to a lot of CNN.
Not CNN. That is the reality.
Guys, we are dead at the life.
You know. Let me tell you. Let me give you their story of the CNN of this one. They would tie it. They would make a cross, a cross with a piece of wood, like this. Then they put clothes around. Then they douse it in the fuel. Then they go when they lift it when it's burning. You see a cross on fire. Those are the triple Ks, and they don't like black skin, mark you. So, if they get you.
I know you had some hawks. You want to say Trump is KKK. I know. You want to say.
And it's a cult.
You hear.
It's a cult.
Trump professes Jesus is Lord. He's not a cult. It's you people that are a cult.
He's a cult.
By the way, you people, do you know that your people don't know whether they are female or male? If I woke up in the morning and I asked you, are you male? Do you think about it?
Definitely.
Before you say, you think about it that you're a male or not?
No, of course I'm a male.
Now, when you say that, in your president's ear, that's Madam President, who will never be president. Who will never be president.
Anyway,
who will never be president? Guess what?
That it's going to be a celebration.
Thank God.
And we should have.
And actually, we are betting with our fund now because no. We are spoken down there. We are saying we are going to bet, but the whips. I don't like whipping all day, but we are going to wallop, mama. Anyway, I found it.
I think we can.
Yeah. So guys, have a good night.
Thank you.